Hi everyone! In today's episode of ClariChamber, I would like to explore the second movement of one of the most mysterious, agitated, painful, but at the same time hopeful chamber pieces in the clarinet chamber repertoire, Max Bruch's 8 pieces for clarinet, viola, and piano. I feel incredibly fortunate because during my undergraduate studies, I had the opportunity to work on such an emotionally charged piece with two of my close friends, Joe Burke and Anna Obágy. Their musicianship and dedication towards music has certainly helped me grow immensely as an artist. Learning this piece with them was about experimenting with different ideas, testing them, and then coming up with the most suitable solution for all of us. It is a whole other level of playing chamber music when you can share this experience with people who you are close with. I would highly encourage you to read and play chamber music with your friends just for fun. It doesn't have to be for a concert or a project, just for your own enjoyment. I remember right before we started playing the second movement of Bruch's 8 pieces, I was thinking about how the huge waves of the ocean reach the shore, or they just run into each other. To me personally, these waves are also representing a wide range of emotions, sort of a storm or battle of the emotions that are competing with each other. At the beginning, the piano's fast triplets going up and down sound like the waves of the agitated ocean that also creates this restless, worried, and tense atmosphere in this movement. The viola joins the piano first, bringing in the main theme that is repeated in the clarinet a couple of measures later. There is this moving forward and then pulling back motion in this section. This melody sounds impatient and moves forward for 2 measures, and then it comes down for the next 2 measures, but neither emotional side can win over the other one. Since the musical texture is really thick and there is a lot going on in the entire movement, we need to be careful with the balance in between the 3 instruments. But for that, we need to know who has the main line, who passes it to us, and who we pass it to, in order to make it sound like it is played by one instrument and to ensure the uninterrupted flow of the melody. Whenever we have a slurred long note for measures, it is important to keep it in mind to be careful with the dynamics there. We want to make sure that the solo line never gets lost in the midst of the lesser important long notes. In addition, I also noticed as I was working on this piece that Bruch provided a lot of dynamic details in the music. He really understood what the clarinet, viola, and piano were capable of doing, and he also knew how to solve the question of balance by giving clear dynamic instructions to the players. All we have to do is just to play our own dynamics rather than the other players. For example, from measure 53, we have slurred dotted half notes until we arrive at the climax of this movement in measure 61. There is a conversation between the viola and the piano, while the clarinet only accompanies them, so we need to make sure that we start the crescendo where it is written and not earlier, so that we would not overpower the sound of our colleagues. However, we can be creative and we can shape the dotted half notes in a way that fits into the bigger musical picture. In addition, the change from G sharp to A in measure 56 and 57 is very special because if we look at the score or if we just listen to the chord change in the piano, we notice that Bruch also changes the minor chords to major chords, starting at measure 57. It creates this momentary feeling of relief and calmness, so it sort of gives the listener a break from the overwhelming emotions of the previous section. When we get to measure 61, I imagine the stormy ocean and the sunlight as it appears through the stormy clouds briefly, and then it disappears in a matter of seconds. This section sounds joyful and hopeful. It is a short and precious moment where the character changes significantly from what we hear previously. After this darker, nervous, anxious and painful atmosphere, a brighter, calmer and joyous moment occurs. Throughout the entire piece, Bruch uses a whole variety of different feelings and characters that never stay for too long, and that is why it is important to exaggerate all these short passages. We do not have a lot of time to develop these characters, so we need to make sure that we can make the most out of these short moments. I hope you find some useful tips in this video for the second movement of Bruch's 8 pieces that will help you get inspired and motivated to prepare and perform this marvelous piece. Keep practicing. See you next time.